Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 6 of Let's Play Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, the Astra Militarum command. And I do apologize about the audio last episode. Everything on my side said it was okay, but apparently it wasn't okay, and I didn't notice literally until, obviously then. Until literally after the end of the last part. And given how much of the last part I recorded, I didn't really want to redo it, so I hope you guys are still okay with it. Let's go through the conversation, because Argenta said she wanted to talk to us. But Sister Argenta looks tired, and there are dark circles under her eyes. Her hair is somewhat disheveled, and she moves like she's on a little on edge. You said you had a personal request for me.
I indeed have a request, Rogue Trader.
The accused servants of chaos who assaulted this ship took the lives of your loyal crew members, and they orphaned many children, including the progeny of the brave officers who defended their post until the bitter end. I don't know what customary practices there are for cases like this in the Volvalantius territory, but in the world I'm familiar with, the children of such brave souls could be expected to receive some special consideration. Perhaps the Rogue Trader could meet with the orphans? What good would meeting them do? These children are the future of your crew, and one day they too will have to stand against evil and heresy as their parents did. By meeting with them, by speaking with the right word to them, you will honor the memory of the fallen heroes and light the way to heroes in the making. They will always remember the day when they met the Rogue Trader. Besides, it will bolster the orphan's spirits, help them recover from their loss, which can be hard for someone so young. I will meet them. No formalities needed. These are the children of the people who gave their lives to the Von Valancius dynasty. My consideration is the least they deserve. I will pass on your instructions. Thank you for taking my request to heart. I didn't say I wanted to do it now. God, they're orphans. They'll be there later. The motley group of adolescents do not take their eyes off you, gazing at you if you were a creature out of a fairy tale. Our indefatigable sister has been keeping an eye on these pups. Abelard glanced at the gathered children. It is hardly the scholar progenium in here, but we have provided the orphans on our ship with adequate care and instruction. Argenta is standing to the side of the group. At your approach, she perks up and announces, her voice ringing. Brave ones, the master of this ship has appeared before you, the one who guides through the darkness of the universe by the Emperor's will. Greet your Lord Captain, the Rogue Trader of House Valancius. I'm going to smile at the group. Your Lord Captain greets you, brave ones. The teenagers keep staring at you. A girl who has remained close to Argentina smiles uncertainly. A skinny pale lad tries to throw his shoulders back and stand at attention like a soldier. Only a few teenagers at the far end of the row seem sullen and not particularly impressed. One of the scowling visitors with a thin scar across his face tosses his head back and says bitterly, So what? Why should we care? Our friends and parents died in their dozens for you, and noble lot, and you just give us speeches. Argent quickly turns to the boy. A flurry of emotions flashes in her dark eyes, like she wants both to calm him and scold him for his impudence. One second, guys. Sorry, my cats have just decided to suddenly start making noise right behind me. Little buggers. What do I want to say? If you have things to say them without fear. I will listen. The boy smiles grimly. It doesn't matter what we say. It won't bring our parents back, and it won't change our fates either. We'll keep slaving away on this ship until we drop and die like our folks, or worse. I understand your grief and dismay. Your parents died. It's not an easy thing to go through. But they gave their lives for the truth, for the good of the whole ship, for the Imperium. Do not speak of their honorable fate with anger and disdain. You heard the Rogue Trader. His words carry the wisdom of the Imperium. It's hard to say whether or not your words have left an impression on the boy, but he nods slowly, then catches himself and gives you an awkward bow. Abelard gives a sign, and servants immediately emerge carrying packaged treats with Von Valantius emblazoned on the wrappers. It appears that the seneschal came prepared for any contingency. Argentina rubs her temple pensively. She smiles and offers a few more words of encouragement, then leaves the bay. Well, they could have been a little nicer to me, don't you think? I mean, I'm their boss. Right, so let's have a look. So what does Iconoclast 1 do? So we're currently a follower. If we get to rank 3, it becomes our thing. That's Zealot. That's... Oh, Zealot's just the name of the rank. Right, that makes sense. Okay, let's ignore that. Right, let's... Oh, yeah, let me have a quick look at something. So, at the moment, we... Quickly borrowing that, so I can actually equip it. So if I was to take that, technically, it would do more damage than my basic weapon. It has a equal rate of fire, but more penetration. Same type of burst fire. Less ammo, more range. So we definitely need to get one of those for ourselves. Obviously, I'm not going to take Sister Argenta's. So actually not. I want to quickly look what it looks like in my hand. Ah, bolters do just look so cool. Alright, that's the right one, isn't it? Yes, it is. Well maintained. Sister Argenta. Has an auto pistol. He has a las pistol. Okay, so he has the basic las pistol. So let's sort it in type. We do have an axe, but I don't really think we need them.
I'd rather not.
Well, I didn't say I was giving you a choice, did I? Does anyone... I don't think anyone uses logic. I don't know. You know what? We'll give it to her. You know what? I'll even keep them on because they actually look pretty cool. Scrappy auto pistol, yeah, is not as good as our last pistol. So I think we're good on equipment right now, so that's good. Let's go make sure Argenta's happy. We need to... Because we got time to go talk to, like, a bunch of companions. That's probably going to be the next couple of parts anyway.
Greetings.
Even in stillness, Sister Argenta radiates energy, with her dark eyes shining and slight blush to her cheeks. She's reciting a prayer and looks at you only once she has spoken the final line. So let's learn about the Adeptus Sororitas.
Gladly. There are none more faithful to the God Emperor than my sisters. We fight against his enemies by the will of the Holy Ecclesiarchy. I beg your pardon, Rogue Trader. Here I am talking about what every lesser noble in the Imperium knows. So what exactly are you interested in hearing about?
They say the Adeptus Sororitas are the fiercest in their faith among the warriors of the Imperium. Is it true?
It is. The Sisters of Battle are a fire lit by the God Emperor. They are the echo of his voice that travels through the dark expanses of the universe. We bring his wrath to heretics, mutants, and other enemies of humanity. We protect the faithful from the unholy and unhallowed. Sometimes with words, more often than not with a bolter.
Are all your sisters as truly as faultless as you say?
Even the novices of the Adeptus Sororitas are drawn from among the most worthy. Those who have taken the vows and become a full-fledged sister are the best of the best, tested by trials of body and spirit. Yes, there have been cases when a sister stumbled or showed weakness, but do not expect to hear a story of depravity or downfall from me. Each such occurrence is a great tragedy for us all. Light cannot bear the smallest speck of darkness within. and thus those who have trespassed or shown weakness of spirit are given a chance at redemption. They are called Sisters Repentia, and may the enemy tremble before her, for nothing can stop a sister of battle who yearns to be cleansed of fault and weakness. Wearing nothing but robes, no armor, eviscerator in hand, those sisters who have once faltered find repentance on the battlefield. Their lives are seldom long, but a death in the name of purgation is a better fate than to live with a shadow in one's soul.
What order are you from?
Once I had completed my novitiate, I was sent to the Calixian branch of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, assigned to the Order's Pronatus. The Order's mission is vital and noble. The Sisters Pronatus protect great relics of the Imperium. We guard them, preserve them, escort them when they are brought onto the battlefield or presented for pilgrims to venerate. And we seek out the relics that have been lost. Neither a coven of heretics nor the most wicked death world can deter Sisters Pronatus when their goal is to return a piece of the great legacy of the Imperium into the hands of the faithful.
You said you belonged to the Calixian branch of your order. What brought you to the Koronus Expanse?
The Order sent me to Footfall. My undertaking was to assist the local priesthood of Drusians in caring for a sacred reliquary that had been there since the time of Pastor Mr. Wayne, the station's founder.
Are there any other members of the Adeptus Sororitas in the Koronus Expanse?
None that I'm aware of, but the Sisterhood's orders are many, and can operate independently of one another, sending their sisters wherever their presence is needed as deemed by the ecclesiarchy. Perhaps somewhere in the Lord Inquisitor's retinue, may his path be blessed, my sisters perform their duty as we speak. I wish it were so. Even a single evening spent in joint prayer and training would bring me joy.
I have no more questions about the Sisterhood.
Should any more arise, keeping them to yourself would be imprudent. It is a virtue to take an interest in holiness.
Sorry guys, I'm trying to find the voice actor because whoever this voice actor is, I can't place it, but I recognize the voice. But tell me about yourself.
About me? I am the Emperor's daughter and his servant. What else is there to tell about me?
How did you end up on Theodora's ship?
I first came here when I found myself in need of passage from Footfall to a remote planet. Which I imagine what interests you is not that first journey, but rather what brought me aboard prior to the pirate attack. That story is complicated. It just so happened that I made a mistake. In a moment of laxity, I was ambushed by the accursed followers of the archenemy. I was badly wounded. Lady Theodora came to my aid and brought me aboard her ship, while her crew attended to me in my weakened state. It all happened not too long ago. I barely recovered from my wounds when the pirates struck. Truly, the servants of evil know no rest. There is no place where we can be safe from their machinations.
What happened to the people who wounded you? Did Theodora's men eliminate them?
Sadly, they did not. Lady Theodora was in a hurry and chose not to stay on the planet. Her people took me to a ship while I was unconscious, and when I came to my senses, we were already flying away. How I pray to come face to face with those heretics once more, and it's bound to happen someday.
You mentioned making a mistake?
It happens even to the best of us. My mistakes are my burden to bear. I'll find a way to atone for them.
Where did this happen?
On one of the recently discovered planets in the Expanse. No one suspected that it had already been tainted by the filth of heresy. Had I known it beforehand, of course I would have been on my guard.
We can go to that planet and deal with the Chaos Worshippers.
The path to that planet was lost. All the knowledge is gone, along with the previous navigator. It would take immense effort and resources to rediscover the route. The heir to the von Valancius Protectorate must have plenty of other issues to deal with right now. Perhaps later, when the skies above our heads have cleared.
What was it like traveling on Theodora's ships?
I hadn't been here that long. Just one journey from Footfall, and the other journey, the majority of which I spent in the confines of the Medbay. I can't tell you much about the first voyage. I was more focused on prayers and ruminations than on the people around me, or the journey itself. During the last journey, Seneschal Viserion stood out for me. He came by several times to ask about my health. He's an honorable man and a loyal servant of the Imperium. I think he is as meticulous in his inspections of the logistic systems as he is in his inquiries about the health of the occasional sister of battle aboard the ship. But not all of Theodora's people have earned my trust. You know who I'm talking about. There is no place for Adira Tlas among the God Emperor's faithful. I'm surprised she wasn't in league with the pirates. And I'm equally surprised by how deep heresy and treason run in this place. I'm glad we all made it through that dark hour. May the day that follows be bright.
I don't have any more questions, thank you.
As you wish.
What is it that's keeping you in my retinue?
This ship was targeted by heretical pirates, which means that my presence here and the assistance I provide to you are my sacred duty. Sooner or later, I will likely have to return to Footfall to protect its reliquary. But for now, I wish to remain a part of the rogue trader's crew.
It pleases me to have a servant with a golden throne in my crew. Make the enemies of the Imperium tremble before our onslaught.
So they shall.
Thank you for this conversation. Until next time. Right, so we've learned a little bit about Argenta and the little Sisters of Battle, or the Adeptus Sororitas. A very interesting thing, something that my partner is going to be building in the actual tabletop, as I bought her a box of the Sister of Battle troops a while ago. So I'm going to make her build them. Let's talk to Vox Master Vigdis. A thin, pale woman stands out among the rest of the crew. There is a thick bundle of cables at the back of her skull and disappearing under her ceremonial garment. Coming up, and you see the grate of a quietly humming Vox where her mouth should be. The woman sees you and bows her head in respectful greeting. How may I serve you, Lord Captain? Connect me to the vessel's main channel. I wish to boost the morale of my crew. The Vox Master nods obediently and passes several switches to the crew device she's holding. It is done, Lord Captain. You address the crew a rousing speech and hear your voice roll through the ship, reaching even the normally quiet corners of the vessel. When the broadcast ends, you hear distant shouts of approval. Remind me, who are you? Vox Master Octavius Vigdis Syria Otar of the Ptolemon dynasty. The current Vox Master serving aboard your vessel. In accordance with the Seneschal's orders, I assumed this duty immediately upon the demise of esteemed Vox Master Septimus, who was my grandfather. What are the Vox Master's duties? And the ears and the voice of the Voidship. I supervise several dozen officers and 3 times the number of support personnel. We receive, send, encrypt, and decode all incoming and outgoing messages through the ship's internal and external channels. We also ensure clean communications and the optimal efficiency of the crew's Vox casters. If you ever want to know what worries and concerns your crew are harboring, what your subjects are whispering in the local networks after their watches, and what their leaders are clamoring about over shortwave Vox transmissions, just come and see me. I will satisfy your curiosities. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything interesting lately? Forgive me, Lord Captain, I have no information that would be of interest to you at this moment. I'm not going to ask that, because he would know. So that's all for now. I live to serve, Lord Captain. So our Vox Master there, very, very obedient. I want to see if this chair turns around every time I go up here. Nope. Well, that's rude. I wanted to sit in my chair, but I'm not allowed. Let's speak to Abelard now.
Lord Captain.
Abelard surveys you briskly but meticulously although he is inspecting you for shortcomings. Then he offers a courteous nod. Let us talk about things that may be useful to me as the rogue trader.
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
Abelard nods approvingly. Outline the situation in the Koronus Expanse for me. What do I need to know and keep in mind?
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. but I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words, the Koronus Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels. Until recently, the Koronus Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Koronus Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse, and in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier.
Who are the main players you need to be aware of in the Koronus Expanse?
In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Koronus Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness. Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Caligos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them. If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbalaka Mission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Koronus Expanse.
Conrad, our previous Master of Whispers, what can you tell me about his betrayal? What do you think he'll do next?
You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voidfear. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight.
Abelard winces over from Toothache, and he makes no attempt to hide his feelings.
We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Velatius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake. If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed. You thwarted his plans, his meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery. He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and he will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only question, Lord Captain, is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps.
Well, that's all for now.
As you wish, Lord Captain.
I'd like to know more about my Seneschal.
As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know?
Tell me about yourself. What were you before you became Theodora's Seneschal?
I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No, used to be is not quite right. It was not simply a job. It was my calling, the essence of my life. I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I am still an officer of the Imperium. I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcements to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was not easy. Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the rogue traders' personal council. It was a difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was. I recognized her at once as a true leader and formidable creative force. One who had built a protectorate amidst the dangers and wildness of the Expanse.
Leaving the Imperial Navy is far from easy. Why were you permitted to quit your post?
You could say there was no one among the naval command who was willing to impede the wishes of the rogue trader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora. Well, the Lord Captain possessed certain contacts in the Imperial Navy. Contacts which she used to request help during the conflict on the border world. And which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue. The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing, or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point. It is challenging to choose the words to accurately express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank.
The way you talk about Theodora, I'm beginning to think you were in love with her.
What? Lord Captain, any allegations of improper feelings or unsanctioned relations are utterly baseless and bordering on the insulting. Utterly baseless.
Uh-huh. Just gonna say he definitely did. Abelard appears to have lost the power of speech. He furrows his brow and adds, "Do you have a family?"
I am a widower. I am a father of 4, and if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11. My family lives on Dargonus. None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for serving aboard ship, and I would hardly have insisted that they follow in my footsteps.
Thank you. I have no more questions.
Of course.
You may call me by my first name if you wish.
I thank you for the honor, but I must decline. As a former military officer, I believe in the importance of order in all things, including the chain of command. You are the Lord Captain, my direct superior. I am not prepared to address you in any way other than as regulation dictates.
Well, I must take my leave. Until next time, Senshal.
Lord Captain.
Look at all the fun stuff we're learning. What's this? So, handwritten letter with a seal. Oh, yeah, can we actually read this? Yes, we can. Esteemed Theodora, a change of circumstances has demanded your immediate assistance in our mutual cause. Forthwith, upon receiving this letter and performing the necessary preparations of the crew, you are to depart for the Rykard system. One of my agents, Interrogator Henriks van Kalox, operates there at the present time. Upon your arrival in the system, you will, without delay, make contact with him and offer any assistance required for you. After which you will provide him passage to the Farabunda system aboard your ship. On footfall, the interrogator will remove himself from your presence to await further instructions. Anticipating any questions you may have, I will stress that the nature of our interrogator Van Kalox's activities on Rykard Minoris is of no concern to you. If required, Van Kalox himself will disclose the details of his mission. May the Emperor Light be with you. Oh, right, lovely. And I think this is a blade that shimmers with natural colors. I have a flak chest piece and everyone else has mesh. They are wearing medium and I'm wearing medium as well. So 20. They actually have better armor than me. Interesting. Can't really complain. I mean, they had it. Good. The High Factorum Janus there. And we've also got a bridge technician over here. So we're going to need to talk to the High Factorum person in the next part. So what we're going to do is we're going to end this part here, and in the next part, we'll talk to the High Factorum. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you guys did enjoy, please do follow me on YouTube. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a share. But most importantly, guys, stay safe. Have a great day. Join the channel memberships if you're interested, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you guys then.